It's a difficult moment for us. It is extremely difficult. I know it is difficult. But let me explain something to you concisely. One thing is, when you plant, you have to harvest. When you sow, you have to harvest. If you make your bed, that's how you lie on it. So what we are going through at a particular moment in time is not strange to us. I think if we look down deep in our minds, we will understand that we are not going through a problem which we never saw, or even if we never saw, it's something we planted. So we are now harvesting evil out of what we planted. It is evil that we are going through at the moment. There's rampant killing, rampant torturing, and then the country is not at peace. And especially the southern part of Cameroon is not at peace. It is not something that is new. Far back, to those who have a good mind, to those who understand the world, will understand that Cameroon and southern Cameroon was a ticking time bomb. I'm sorry to say this, but it is clear that those of us with a serious imagination, with some sort of good vision, people who penetrate into the arcana of the world to see things, will understand that the problem going on in Cameroon is not new. Far back, if I quote an example, in 2010, I created Cameroon Reformation Party. Because I understand that in 2018, there will be a problem in Cameroon. In 2012, I wrote an article saying linguistic apartheid in Cameroon. And most of my friends, most of my colleagues, most of my fellow Cameroon brothers and sisters break through and break away from me. And I told them in the next speech that Cameroon is a ticking time bomb. And today, we are going through hell. The hell we are going through is not new. It's planted by us. We have a hand in it. We have a hand in the difficulties. We have our hands laid into the foundation of such difficulty. So we shouldn't be surprised that something new has happened in our lives. But what I'm here to talk about is, I'm very sorry for those innocent people. The innocent people are those grassroots people that has never licked a finger from the Biafra regime. These people are people from ages, from great-great-great-grandparents of their lives. Nobody's ever walked under a hijab or walked under Paul Biya. But there are some elements of people that their fathers, their mothers, their aunties, their relatives planted these seeds. And each year in, year out, they give motions of support. They call some other people Grafi, they call some other people Kamnogo, they give names to people because they thought they arrived. But we are not going to boil in such points. If we want to help Cameroon and we want to make a difference for Cameroons, we need to boil to the truth. This will not bring about discrimination. This will not bring about tribalism, and this will not bring about other things that may create enmity amongst us. But this will bring about reality. And if we boil into reality, we will find that it is possible for us to get a solution. A solution for Cameroons is for those with a vision, a vicious mind. It is not for those who don't know what is happening. People are dying back in Cameroon. Citizens are dying. The police, the generals are killing each other and killing the citizens because they're not well trained. Because the system and the people of Southern Cameroon for so long have depended on working with no creativity. They work throughout their lives. They work from the regime. Take for instance, there are people here in the diaspora, people in America, Britain, France, Germany, that were sent over here by the regime to come and study. These people came and changed their minds, and they became citizens of Europe, and then betrayed the system, betrayed themselves. Now it is time. They see that nothing good is going to happen. Then they start shooting back guns to Cameroons and say, we want a change, we want Ambazonia, we want Southern Cameroon, we want federation. They don't even have a concise vision, a concise plan, and they can't even point the destination where they want to take this nation to. But these are people that belong to us, and a regime which they supported sent them out to come and study and come back home to help the country. They could bring about a change, but they decided to change their minds. and say, oh, I'm staying in Europe, Europe is nice. It's not built by them. There are some of us who, our parents, like myself, I will tell you a story. In 1985, when Paul Biya launched the CBDM in Bamenda, everybody came out as a font of fonts, chiefs of chiefs, God of gods, and so many other names they gave him. They gave him lots of things, lots of names, lots of gifts, lots of things. But my honorable father, same day, resigned from the CBDM, resigned from the Biafra regime, resigned from any aspect of participation with the regime. Why? Because he saw that he cannot stand against Cameroonians. He told me, and all of us, we were just kids at 9 years old, and he said, Cameroon is going to be in this area. For this reason, you guys, you're my son, you're my kids, you're my children, I love you so much, you are never going to go to good schools again anymore. I'm not going to stand against Cameroonians in order to send you to better schools, to send you to SASE, to send you to Bishop Rogan, to say to TPC. You will ever struggle throughout your life. But better you struggle than for me to take bribe, to take corruption money, to stand against citizens of this country because I want to support this regime. This is a cruel regime. But you mind my words, I will train you how to work hard, and you will work hard for yourself in your life. But I'm sorry, some of you will not even be able to afford for a comprehensive education. And he resigned from the CBDM. Some of our parents never saw this vision. They stood with the government, they came over to Britain, they give birth to children. They give birth to children in America. They used the regime's money. Some of them were teachers, some of them were accountants, some of them were lawyers, some of them were magistrates. Some of them were all sorts of things. But the amount of money that they were earning at the end of the day and at the end of the month was not that amount of money to transfer kids and families to Europe at that time. But people invested their lives getting money from fraudulent sources in Cameroon, getting money from all forms of ways, and then moving back to Europe to give birth to their children, anchor their lives in Europe, and then they go back to Cameroon and carry on with the corruption. Now, time followed up. The regime has stayed and gets stronger. This very clique of people, Southern Cameroonians, they have to be held accountable. They have to understand that they have dined with the regime, they have anchored the regime, they have brought a lot of difficulty to the country. They have tied us tight with La République Cameroon. So this is nothing strange. They know that. They have their hands inside. They are here in Europe. Either they are in Cameroon, their kids are here. But we want to change Amazonia. Those who are in the bushes, those who are hiding, those who are fighting are hearing orders from people. Their parents fought for their lives. Without that, they shouldn't have been here or wouldn't have got the education they got. But there are innocent people in the bush in Cameroon fighting for the country, which they themselves have never tasted anything. Nobody's helped them. Nobody advised them. But now it's time. These political sons are giving up their lives. We need to think correctly. We need to sit down and think. We need to get a clear and concise vision where we want to take this nation to. We need to know exactly what we want. We need to know how we want to get it. We need to know where we want to take the nation to. Last week I was talking to one of the British politicians, which I won't mention. He told me, we cannot support countries to separate in the world. It is difficult to support separation because every country wants to separate. Scotland wants to separate from Britain. California wants to go away from America. Chechnya wants to go away from Russia. And so on and so forth. So many countries want to split up. So if Britain was to help Cameroon to split up tomorrow, then what are they going to be telling the Scots? That, okay, if separation is good, then leave us alone. If America was to step in and split up Cameroon, what are they going to be telling to California? Say, oh, separation is good, okay, you can go. Nobody wants separation. But there was a divine intention where we can come together and see how we can ameliorate things, where we can talk things, where we can make our differences, where we can achieve things step by step. We have all planted into this evil. Nobody is free. But I am proud that I never planted into evil. I've never tasted any penny from the regime. I'm proud for that. But there are some of us here in Europe, we are writing continuously. texting continuously, setting up boys mad in Cameroon to go into the dungeons to fight the regime and kill each other. There are some of you who don't want to hear some sort of ideology, but let me tell you something today. We have to be non-judgmental to behaviors which are not accessible to the usual value system codes of behaviors or reasoning patterns. But whatever be the case, we have to accept any other person's individual will and responsibilities and duties. But the way we are fighting at the moment is that each and every one of us knows the divine plan, but we should have a leadership that is seen tomorrow, seen today, seen yesterday, or a leadership that can see 50 years ahead. But because the most dangerous thing in life is when you're working with somebody who have eyes but does not see, it's better off to work with somebody who doesn't have eyes, then you know where you stand. So this is the situation we find ourselves in. I want to pardon each and every one of us. It is a difficult moment for us today. It is a difficult moment, but I am like a lion because my vision was clean and clear. I saw it and I did it. And I called on everybody to stand by it. And I said so many times that 2018, 2016, 2017, whatever, is a dangerous moment, and that was far back 2010. I'm still calling on you that I have the fork and knife to show you the way. It is easy, but I have the fork and knife. And the most important thing is that we need a strong, strong leadership. Not only for the separation, not only for the federation, not only for the independence, but a leadership that can bring all of us together. And then all of us can communicate with La Republique. We need to. It is something that we need to. We can fight, we can argue, but we need to be able to talk with La Republique du Cameroun and bring them closer, change our minds, and see that we are moving on the right track. We are not saying that we have to beg somebody, but we have to sit in our quiet time and see what our dads, our great-granddads have done to us. We have to know exactly that. They all planted this period of time. We have elites in Northwest Province. We have elites in Southwest Province. They dine with the devils. All of us, 3/4 of us in Europe, we are not coming by our sweat. We are not coming from nowhere. We're coming through because our dads have taken bribe. Our dads have taken corruption. Our dads have done so many negative things to that country against some people who are poor, who cannot afford, but they go and stand in front of the ministry. They go to the police station to give bribe. They go to the magistrate court. So these are our relatives. These are our mothers. These are our parents. These are everything to us. Why should we exclude them out of the difficult moment? We need to hold them accountable. So if you have somebody in Cameroon who is working with the regime, 3/4 of us have people working with the regime. I'm proud I have nobody working with the regime. I've never got somebody who works with the regime. And I will hardly get somebody who works with the regime. We were trained not to work with the regime. But most of you got keyboards. You got advantage on the phones and mobile tablets and internet in Europe. You kick the boys off and they're flying all over the place. Ask yourself, where are you coming from? Where did your dad was maybe a teacher, a principal in a college? Where did he have enough money to send you to private schools, pay your fees, give you quality food, sustain you, and do everything for you, and you smoke cigarettes even at a younger age at that period? Where do you got that money? That money was corruption. That money was not genuine and bona fide money that came through sweat. So we have planted this. We need to sit down. We need to listen. We need to share opinions. We need to accept each and everybody's own ideology. This is all I've got to say. And I will keep on. I have a lot. I'm expecting an interview, and I'm expecting to meet up with one of the ministers in London by July 20th, where we will discuss so many things about this situation. But I love you guys. I love Cameroon. I love Cameroonians. I love each and every individual. I know I can help. I know I can help, and I'm happy I can help. I know where I'm coming from. I know where I'm going to. I can show you the way, and I can point you the land of Canaan, even today. And I can tell you the time and date, and the opportunities that lies ahead for the whole of Cameroon and all Southern Cameroonians. We need to learn. I'm very sorry for the situation at the moment. I beg at the boys who are fighting. I beg at those tearing of the boys. I beg at everybody to look down deep. Some of these journalists, some of these teachers who were sent over here to look down deep into their hearts. If you fail the regime or the regime fails you, you need to be accountable for. Don't kick off these boys to go around killing people. You need to be accountable. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Where is your anger? And how can you bring the achievement? Don't kick off these boys to be flying all around the whole place and saying that they want to get independence, they want to get federation. We only have one union. But this one union or one country got so many organizations. We need to think about it. It is too difficult for us at the moment. It is a moment where we don't need to see tears. We don't need to see blood. But we can achieve through other means. And these means were concise and clear. Some of us saw it, and we decided to form political organizations, not for ambitions, not to be up there, because we already got things we do. We are happy with what we are doing. We are successful in what we are doing. But we are doing things sometimes not only for our happiness, but for the happiness of all. I call on all these leaders of Southern Cameroon's organizations to give their accountability, to prove that they can be those leaders. They shouldn't kick off boys in Cameroon. After they came here, they're earning money from the regime through fraudulent means. Some of these people are still working with the regime and working in Europe and earning salary in Cameroon and earning salary here. So you will be accountable. Let's not go to that route. Let's try and sit down. Let's try and create a vibrant organization. If not an organization, a vibrant way of thinking, so that we can communicate through. We can have a way out, and we can actually talk through with the DS government and see where it goes. Most of your fathers are still working with him. Most of your fathers retired from him. Most of your fathers are still living there. But it is up to you. It is up to us now at the moment to think and see where we go. I am proud to talk to you. I'm overjoyed to be heard by you, and I'm very happy that I have you as a family, as a citizen, as my people. I want you to listen more and more. You open your eyes. But when I say open your eyes, it's not just the physical eyes. Open your inner eyes and see the future for Cameroon, and see a future that belongs to every one of us, not somebody who wants to kick off war in Cameroon. I thank you very much. Thank you.